Use code AFTV25 for 25% off your order with Faraway Pizza. Click the link below or visit faraway.co.uk now.
Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. Arsenal have lost 4-1 at the Etihad. I can't lie. I was wearing my classic Arsenal shirt. I was excited all day. I was tweeting about my excitement. In a lot of ways, I felt the fans had more hype and energy for this game than what we saw from the players out there. Now, let me just say one thing, and I'll get this out of the way. Man City were unbelievable tonight. They pressed us all over the pitch. They won their individual battles. They went long when they had to. They played intricate football when they had to. They were superb. And I think in a lot of ways that forced Arsenal into their mistakes, into their errors, into withdrawing into their shell. But at the same time, even if you give them that benefit of the doubt, the performance fell so far short of even what you'd expect from a team that maybe goes into their shell a little bit, that's maybe a little bit nervous. It was so far off what I expected and hoped for today. It was littered with individual errors. It was littered with tactical errors. It was littered with just kind of a lack of hunger and fight. Turkish talked about it on his fan cam. Partey was shocking today, and then when he does get in a little bit of a scrap with Grealish, it doesn't look like he even wants to stick up for himself. Now, I'm not saying that the answer is just to start swinging when you're 3-0 down or whatever, but there wasn't really a lot from the Arsenal players that showed that they felt that they were miles off it like the fans did, if you know what I mean. I don't think that came through to Arteta either. Arteta went out in the second half with the same players out there. Look, what he did in the first half, the lineup he went with, it was clear what he was trying to do. He wanted to back the players to go and do what they've been doing all season and show what they're about. He did the exact same thing at Tottenham last season. I said, going into that Spurs game, the one thing Spurs want you to do is go and play, because they'll sit back and then they'll hit you on the counter and they'll pull you apart. Arteta didn't prep for that. With Man City, it was a case of, if you're going to go and chase them and man mark all over the pitch, which is what he done in the FA Cup, which is what he did away at Anfield, if you're going to do that with Rob Holding in your team, the chances are they're going to pull you apart at some point. Rob Holding isn't going to win his individual battles against De Bruyne and Haaland, and you're going to suffer for that. And we did. We were 2-0 down at half-time. Disappointed that goal was onside. It looked touch and go, but quite frankly, it was a robbery to even go in at half-time 2-0 down. It could easily have been 3, 4 or 5. And Arteta didn't do anything about it. And I didn't get onto Arteta for what he did wrong, subs-wise, whatever in the previous games, because I keep thinking, well, cool, you could have not played Holding, you could have made other changes, but whoever was out there was good enough to do more against West Ham, pick up the 3 points, having been 2-0 up, do more against Southampton, who are bottom of the table, and you ended up scoring 3 goals anyway. But in this game, I think you do learn where the managers really can make a difference. And I thought it happened with Conte and Arteta last year. Of course, we know how the long term's gone for Conte, and we've come out, I suppose, the winners in that. But in terms of this game, Pep completely had Arteta's number. From mixing things up to, we're all thinking it's going to be Walker in a back 3. Actually, it's Walker right back, it's Akanji left back, and Stones isn't playing in midfield, he's playing in the back 4. He was asking different questions of Arsenal. That completely disrupted our press. They went long to Haaland with the front 2, De Bruyne and Haaland. Normally, De Bruyne is one of 4 midfielders, he's one of a 10. He basically played up front with Haaland, and we didn't have an answer for it. And Arteta didn't look to have an answer for it. He wanted to trust the players to figure it out, and they didn't. Now, I just interviewed Turkish, who talked about needing to be ruthless. I think all Arsenal can do from this situation now is go into the summer. Well, first, there's the rest of this season. And I know that ultimately we're not going to win the league. There's a 1% chance of it. But you keep fighting, you keep trying to win your games, and you see where you end up. I remember Man City, when they won their first title in 2012, they lost at the Emirates. They fell, I think, 8 points behind Man United with 6 games to go, something like that. United drew at home to Everton 4-4. Then they dropped points elsewhere. I think, in fairness, City beat them in that run-in. And they ended up winning it on the final day. So you never know. You never give up. You keep fighting. And I know no one wants to hear that, but you just have to, even to just cement second place. Because, listen, the last thing you want to do is be falling far away. And as mentioned in Forever Arsenal by Jordan and Turkish, you don't want to end this season 5, 6, 7 points off Man City. Because I think over the 38 games, we haven't been 6, 7, 8 points worse than them. But they've got to learn. They've got to, shake it off. They've got to try and win the remaining games of their season. But going into the summer, they've got to be ruthless. They've got to look at certain players and go, look, thank you for your service. Some people won't feel that way, but you say it, you be polite. And then you go and add serious depth. So when Granit Xhaka isn't available, like it wasn't against Southampton, it's Declan Rice coming in. Or we've been linked with Mason Mount, fine, whoever. But someone who is first-team quality that actually is not just about coming in when needed, but that throughout a season, we're also challenging for the Champions League, you're happy to rotate. Bernardo Silva played today. It could have been Mahrez. It could have been. And who else on that? Laporte didn't play. They have so much quality, Man City. And they've spent a lot of money, but we spent money too, and we have money to spend, and we now need to go and add depth in those key areas. Today was, it was borderline disgraceful, but more than anything, it was an absolute lesson. It was an absolute lesson in what Man City are and the level you've got to be at. Arsenal might well get to 90 points this season. And fair play to them for that. It will still have been not a successful season, but a good season with lots of progress. But that is the level Man City are at, and we have shown that to a certain point we can keep up the pace and keep up with them. But in the 2 matches we played against them, in one they were much better than us. I thought in the other at the Emirates, I thought in a lot of ways we were the better team. But in both games they were smarter, and in both games they had other options and they respected us and they did different things, and they've ultimately come out with a 7-2 aggregate score. Make it 8-2 if you want the FA Cup in that. So look, to end on a semi-positive, Arsenal have had a good season, and you keep fighting for every point, and you see where you end up. Today was a really, really bad day, and I'm not even going to go in on individual performances because, as I say, I wasn't. There were experienced players across the pitch, from Partey to Zinchenko to Jesus to Odegaard, that really disappointed me today. And I think the Arsenal players, they're gonna hear that, they're gonna feel that, they're gonna know that themselves. But keep fighting for every point. Go on to the next game. Go into next season knowing that you made a lot of progress with a couple signings, the right deals. You can make even more progress going to next season. All right, go check out the rest of the videos and fan cams on AFTV. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for all the reaction to this game and, of course, all our coverage of the games coming in the following weeks.
Introducing FANZONE.
My friend Elliot from Canada.
We are still.
Say we are
top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Allows any fan, anywhere you are on the planet, to broadcast live into our shows at the push of a button via our website or app.
Well, I'm tired of hearing about the Europa League like it's silverware. So is the League Cup. So is the Dubai Cup. So is the Community Shield.
Michael, come on, they're not the same level.
No, I mean it.
Cecile. My guy.
FANZONE on AFTV Plus. You can download it on iOS or the Play Store and have your say. Hi and welcome along to the Invincible podcast. Lee Judges and me in the building.
That was Robbie's question. Can we win the Premier League?
It ain't as easy as that, you know.
Well, no, like,
Get your ass over here, we're Arsenal.
make sexual innuendos at me and things like that. Like, I think it's disgusting. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't work with you. We've spoken about it before. I probably will have to quit.
you ruined. I've had my childhood ruined by Arsenal, and now my adult life is going to be ruined by Arsenal.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.